URU Metals Limited has raised £300,000 and appointed Axis as its joint broker. This will assist the company's development of its Zeb project in South Africa. Now, URU is progressing this through its majority interest in Zeb Nickel Corporation and its role as the technical advisor on the project. So, integral to the refreshed focus is Richard Montjoy, who is VP Exploration and Director of Zeb Nickel Corporation. So, Richard, I'm sensing a lot of vigor and a more keen focus. So, has the company been like a swan, elegant on the surface and feet paddling furiously below the surface?
Yeah, that's correct. Thanks, Sarah. Um, yeah, that's correct. We've been doing a lot of work quietly behind the scenes. We were granted our environmental authorization in August last year, and we've just quietly been laying the groundwork. We've recently acquired some beautiful high quality geophysics data, and we're super excited to get drilling on the back of that and do some work on it. We're really excited about moving forward in the project.
So, for potential investors, let's visualize the Zeb project. What does it look like? How big is it? Does it have history, legacy? Why are you involved?
Great question. So the project was started by Falconbridge, goodness, back in the 90s, and URU started doing drilling on it in 2017. There is a historical resource of about 1.6 billion tons at 0.25% nickel sulfide. Um, but our real focus over the last couple of years has been to upgrade the grade, improve that grade. We've been successful in locating a zone of in the footwall of higher grade nickel, including PGEs, platinum group metals, and a bit of copper. So we're super excited about that, and we'd love to get that into a resource.
Okay, so you'd love to get that into the resource. So let's talk about the realistic goals. Let's go through the timelines. What's the plan for the asset at the moment?
So the immediate plans is to take our geophysical data, do interps on that, select some juicy drill targets, and start drilling and get that into. That'll be our first step towards getting our maiden resource on the higher grade nickel and PGE resource.
So I said in my introduction there that £300,000 has been raised. That's an achievement in capital constrained markets, but I'm sensing that more will be required. So how will the asset be financed?
Sarah, the way we see it going forward is incremental, slow steps, de-risking of the project. So, um, first step, we've got a bunch of assays that need to go into our laboratory to SGS. That'll help confirm the grade continuity, and basically the project's up dipped and adjacent to Ivanplats' Platreef project. They're mining at about 700 to 1,000 meters deep. We think we've got the same material as them, between 250 meters, maybe a bit shallower, down to about 400 meters. So the next step will be to submit some of our historical samples to the lab, get the assay results from that. That should confirm the validity of our geological model, and basically get drilling on the back of that. We aim to bring value to shareholders and see an incremental value to the company based on positive news flow, and just further de-risking.
So I'm guessing from what you've said already, increase the grade, increase investor confidence. With that comes a higher valuation and then industry attention. And I suppose, it would be good to catch the eye of neighbours and bigger players within the sector.
Absolutely, Sarah. We've definitely been. We aim to bring on some, should we say, sort of cornerstone investors, to help us along the way, and add value to existing shareholders. The project is largely technically de-risked now. We've also been working hard on regulatory de-risking. I mentioned earlier that we've received our environmental authorization. This is one of the final steps to receiving our mining rights, which we expect in the next couple of months. And that secures the mineral tenure for the next 30 years. And that's a step that's largely ignored. We've just quietly been working on the background there. Also improving our relationships with our host communities, and various stakeholders and government. So it's really been moving quietly forward nicely in the background.
So, Richard, you talk about the community. Obviously, you've got to keep the community on side for the entire duration of the project. But, how long is a bit of string? What is the long-term strategy? How long are you going to be there for?
Okay, great question, Sarah. The long-term strategy would be to acquire the mining rights, keep drilling, declare a maiden resource on our higher grade nickel copper PGE resource, add value to the project, and ultimately take this project forward into development. We believe firmly in the nickel market, nickel sulfide market. This project represents a potential source for high grade nickel sulfide and obtained in an environmentally friendly way. I think we expect to be drilling for the next 2 years. That'll get us to a measured resource. In line with that, we will be doing feasibility studies, which would include a pre-feasibility study matched to an inferred and indicated resource. And then ultimately we get a measured resource and we would do a definitive feasibility study, at which stage the project be ready to go into execution.
Okay, so cheeky chemistry question. What's nickel sulfide good for? Who would be the potential customers?
Nickel sulfide's great for inclusion in the renewable energy revolution. It's a key element in your lithium batteries, in your basically in the battery market.
Which is perfect. That's all we need to know about nickel sulfide. So finally, what can investors look forward to in Q2 2025, which has just kicked off this week?
Some positive drill results, and really stepping forward towards declaring a maiden resource on a high grade nickel PGE sulfide deposit.
Richard Montjoy, it's been an absolute pleasure. I know that you're busy and we were very lucky to have you here, and very good luck with the short-term goals, which will lead to the long-term success that I know that you're striving for. Thank you.
Thanks, Sarah.